Folks, welcome aboard the Friendo Wagon. We are back with another episode. And for those of you keeping score at home, we are still three millennial gaming nerds bringing you all of the news you couldn't care less about. And we're not therapists, we're not experts, we're just three people with microphones and a concerning amount of free time. Joined always by my co-hosts, Smith and Potter. How are we doing tonight, boys?
I'm surviving, but I ain't thriving.
Well, I personally am doing pretty good tonight.
How's this week's outlook looked for us?
We're on the the bad end of natural selection, but no more miserable than usual.
How about you, Potter?
I mean, had a pretty good week. Kind of dragged the last little bit, but been pretty solid other than that.
Here to tell you mine dragged from start to finish, so lucky you.
The road to Friday is always long and arduous, my friends.
It's true. But isn't that why they call it Friday?
Sometimes it's a free day, but as it stands, doesn't seem like a whole lot has happened this week in gaming news, but I think we still have a few topics to address. Potter, seemed like you had some stuff you wanted to kick us off with.
I mean, I didn't have too much. I mentioned this to Smith the other night, but I don't think we got through the full conversation. But me and him are both very big fans of steelbooks.
Oh, same.
For games. Yeah, I mean, everybody.
Don't discredit me there, man. That's steelbooks are great.
Everybody likes a good steelbook. And used to, you could order something from Best Buy and it would always have a steelbook. So that was great. They don't do that anymore. So imagine my delight when I saw that Silent Hill F had a steelbook from Amazon.
Ooh.
And there I was, going to order it, only to find out it's only from Amazon UK.
Yes, I saw this as well. So tragic, and the steelbook looks so cool.
It looks so cool,
look this up.
but they do have a day one edition for everybody else. So I'm just going to get it because it also looks cool. It's just not a steelbook.
Is there anything special that comes with the day one edition? Like any?
It's just like the regular pre-order bonus and a poster. So the poster is special. But like other than that, it's the regular pre-order white outfit instead of the Navy sailor outfit.
Seems I need to do a little deeper digging. I was thinking about putting a pre-order down on it this week, but I couldn't find anything special like for doing so. So I was like,
yes,
maybe I'll just
if
wait.
you go to Amazon,
Turns out if you go to
Amazon, go to Amazon, and they've got a day one edition. And last time I looked, it said it would deliver the 25th, so release day. So it's an option.
Excellent.
I've just looked into this. That is a 6 steelbook. Also feels like, or looks like what I feel like in the morning when I look into the mirror.
It's a nice steelbook.
That is harrowing.
It's a real nice steelbook.
I
It's got
like the color
aesthetic
scheme.
going for it.
Yeah, I really like the color scheme of that. That's a nice steelbook.
It is, and the aesthetic matches everything else we've seen from it, like from the game. So
yeah, the limited amount of material I've seen from the game, I see how that fits.
So yeah, that's cool though. I mean, I wish it was the steelbook, but at least it's something special.
Yeah, that's a rather underutilized thing in the gaming community these days, especially with everything trying to move digital for whatever forsaken reason, is the steelbook. But glad to see somebody bringing that back because we need more of that.
Yes, we do. We do need more of that.
Man, I even
Yeah.
like to have steel books of like movies. Walmart used
Oh
to do
yeah,
that stuff like back in the day. One of
Yeah.
my most prized possessions is my steel book of Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
dude, you should
The
treasure
Tucker
that
and
more
Dale
than
versus Evil
you.
Steelbook. Yeah.
Yes, you should treasure
Yeah.
that more than you do your daughter.
I do love it dearly. That was and that was I didn't even know that existed whenever I bought it. I just that was just something that I happened upon by just pure pure happy luck. Because I always back whenever they were popular, I would always no matter what, like it was one of those things where like, we're going to Walmart for groceries or whatever. I'm gonna run by the electronics real quick and I'm just gonna check to see. I'm gonna check up on the steelbook situation. Just see if there's anything cool. I have steel books for movies that I haven't even seen just because
John
they
Wick.
looked cool. I I've seen the first three John Wicks. I haven't seen the. I
Oh,
hope there's
okay.
only four. I haven't seen it, but I have seen the
There are
first three.
only
I own the
4.
first three.
They are starting a 5th, but there are currently 4.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
Walmart had a rather nice sampling of steelbooks there for a while. I've not seen them in a minute. I don't go to Walmart as often as I used to since I work remotely now, so I don't have as much opportunity to stop there. But yeah, they had some rather sick ones there. I would say 2 years ago, but I never did get that Tucker and Dale one, unfortunately. But boy, that is a masterpiece of a steelbook.
It's so awesome, and it's like the art on it is like cartoony versions of them. Just like totally leans into the comedy aspect of the horror comedy. It's awesome. Like I said, a cherished possession of mine.
And if you haven't seen that movie, what are you doing with your life?
That's a good one. If we use the word horror very lightly there. It is by and large a comedy movie that just makes fun of horror tropes. And man, it is a it is a hilarious movie, and there are some legendary quotes that come out of it.
And I still maintain has the funniest movie scene of all time in it.
you talking about the wood chipper?
Well, that could make an
I think he
argument.
might be talking about the bees.
I am 100% talking
The,
about
the
the
bees
bees
is
and the
funny.
chainsaw. That is an irrecoverable scene. Never fails to make
Yeah.
me laugh.
Anybody
like
listening
tomorrow.
to this particular episode, if you have not seen Tucker and Dale versus Evil, please do. It's on Netflix. Just go watch it.
Oh, it's
You won't
still on
regret it.
streaming.
Oh yeah. Last time I saw anyway. I watch it
actually didn't
at
know
least
it was
once
still on
annually.
Netflix.
It was last year because I
Might have to
watched it
verify
again.
this for you.
Please do.
And it's certainly a movie easily worth just watching on your own, or for like a date night or something like that for a couple of willing parties. But in my opinion, and I could just be biased because it was the way that I was introduced to it, but that is a movie that is best viewed in the company of like-minded idiotic friends, especially. Man, it is only enhanced by people that share a sense of humor similar to you.
Oh,
That's all I can say.
the best part about this is the pushback that we had trying to get you to watch it because you didn't want to watch it at first. And then Nathaniel and I came up there for that random excursion with you, got you to watch it, and now it's solidified as one of your favorite movies ever.
I was not open to the idea of horror comedy being a genre that I would enjoy. But that definitely changed. That movie definitely changed that. I don't know that I've watched a horror comedy since, but I'm at least open to it now.
I
because of that.
mean, Shaun of the Dead might be the best zombie movie ever made.
Okay, I stand corrected. I like 2 horror comedy movies.
Yeah, that's what
I
I
haven't
thought.
thought about that movie in forever.
That's, man, both of these movies might be top 10 all time for me. Love them. Also, what I'm seeing does not look like Tucker and Dale is currently on Netflix.
That's unfortunate.
They've really gone downhill.
They really have gone downhill. If you haven't watched it and you enjoyed Shaun of the Dead, I also highly recommend Hot Fuzz.
I tried watching that whenever it came out when we were younger, and I think I was just too stupid to enjoy it. It's one that I need to revisit just because how could it not be good with the cast?
I don't think
It's
I
really good.
ever actually got around to watching Hot Fuzz. And comedy horror, have you guys seen this Anaconda movie with Jack Black?
Saw that it was a thing that was happening.
No, will be my answer.
Yes, apparently it is starring Jack Black and Paul Rudd, and it is basically Tropic Thunder in the Anaconda setting. Because from what I'm gathering, the storyline is they are trying to in the movie universe, they're trying to reboot the Anaconda film and then wind up actually being attacked by an anaconda.
Man, I'm really I'm really wary about watching movies with Paul Rudd in them because I think he has the capacity to be funny, but he strikes me as the kind of actor that tries too hard to be funny.
I get that.
Same thing for what's his name? The guy from Horrible Bosses, Jason something.
Oh,
Uh,
I know who you're talking about.
Sudeikis?
anyway,
No, I don't know.
I feel like it's something stupid
Jason
like
Bateman.
Bateman.
Yes,
Yeah,
Jason Bateman.
Bateman.
I
Yes.
had to look it up, but yes, you're right.
I prefer him a little bit more to in comparison to Paul Rudd, but they both I would classify them both as people who try too hard to be funny at times, and it just kind of lands flat for me. But
Personally, I think Paul Rudd is a good comedy actor if they don't try to script him too hard. I feel like if they let him come off the cuff, he's better.
I'm also just really pessimistic about comedy movies just in general because I feel like the golden age of comedy film was back in the 90s and the early 2000s, and I feel like just nothing hits the same anymore.
Yeah, you had the
I
golden
agree.
classics like The Waterboy and Talladega Nights.
The Waterboy is a top 5 movie of all time.
It's so good, and I still maintain that the last great comedy movie made was Rat Race in 2002.
Oh, yes. Oh, that is a great one.
It's
I'm
actually
an unapologetic dodgeball fan myself.
Dodgeball was good. I don't know that I would put it in the same tier as Rat Race. As
It's Chuck Norris.
I
If
genuinely think Rat Race is my second favorite comedy ever.
Rat Race is like is S tier, and if Dodgeball is not as good, if Dodgeball is not also S tier, it's at least A plus for me. I do like
I'll give you
Dodgeball
that.
quite a bit.
Dodgeball was good.
Dodgeball's great.
I'm just not a fan of a lot of like. Definitely, once we hit the 2010s, it just started becoming the actors just making jokes on screen as opposed to being put into actually comical situations and things happening or having an interesting character. It was literally just like, let me make a joke on screen. And I'm like, that's not really that funny.
Yeah, there was a very weird and tangible shift from situational comedy just to like almost purely like shock value comedy. I don't enjoy that. I know that works for some people, but I don't know. It cheapens it a little bit for me. I'm thinking of, like I'm trying to think of just like a subpar comedy movie in my opinion,
The
like
Hangover.
Pineapple. Well, that's even better than what I was gonna say. Yes, The Hangover. That's people view that as a legendary entry into the comedy sphere, but like if you compare any of the Hangover entries against even one single piece of like the hit '90s Adam Sandler comedies, any one of them, even the weaker ones, will outclass any of the Hangovers in my opinion.
Yeah, The Hangover is probably the most overrated movie I've ever watched. I was so disappointed when I watched that, and I also figured out where whatever the main dude's name was that they were looking for, I figured out where he was not long after they started looking for him. It was
You're a
just
sleuth, man.
well, Waldo had seen it and he was like, "You gotta watch this. It's so funny." We started watching it, and I was just immediately like, "He's on the roof," and he turned and looked at me. He's like, "How did you figure that out?" I said, "It's the only place they didn't look." Like, duh. Like, it was the last place we saw them before they passed out. I'm pretty sure. It's been a long time since I mean I've not seen that movie since like 2009 or something. It was
Oh
not
yeah, it's
long
been a
after it
long
came out,
time.
and never had an interest in rewatching it. Did not watch the sequels because I didn't think it was funny. But you were mentioning Pineapple Express, and I was going to mention that Seth Rogen is one of the worst offenders of what I'm talking about because
Yeah,
so many
yeah,
of
that's
the
exactly why I brought it up.
yes, oh my gosh, so many of the quote unquote funny moments from his movies are just him going, yeah, no, and then saying a joke, and it doesn't hit. It's not like a character who has this particular way of functioning in the world, doing or saying something. It's just him rattling off a zinger, and I'm like, like that doesn't hit like Happy Gilmore throwing somebody out of a window and then them saying, "Yeah, he hates me."
Or contrast contrast that situation with Rogan with you make the Lord very nervous.
Oh, one of my favorite characters from any comedy movie ever, the blind priest. Just anything like that where there's notable. Again, I keep saying characters, but just like their motivations and how they actually behave. It's every movie that somebody like Seth Rogen is in, he's the same person every time. Or as we've talked about plenty of times before, but maybe not on here, Will Ferrell. He's in that same vein where he's just the same guy almost every time, and he just tells a joke, and I'm like, that's not funny, not for a
I agree
movie.
with you about 90% of the way on Will Ferrell. I think generally speaking that is true. He does have a couple of bangers though. Hilarious. I
Like
think I
Talladega
think
Nights.
see I tried to watch Talladega Nights long ago, like shortly after release. I didn't think it was funny. After Kelsey and I had been together for some number of years, and we randomly, after we had gotten back into NASCAR as adults, we got off on the topic of Talladega Nights one evening, and she said that she thought that it was a funny movie, and I was like, "Yeah, I've never actually seen it." Yada yada yada. Um, we went and purchased a used copy of it. I own the movie. I've tried to watch it twice as an adult since then, and I still don't think it's funny. And this isn't a butt hurt over making fun of NASCAR thing because listen, people, I'm under no delusion. I'm one of the only people probably in your life as you listen to this that will advocate for you watching grown men drive around in a circle for hours on a Sunday. Okay, I understand how delusional this sounds. It's just I just don't think that movie's funny.
Yeah, Talladega Nights for me is probably my least disliked of his films that I dislike. The only two films with him in it that I enjoy were The Other Guys and Elf.
And see, I do think that Will Ferrell was good in the other guys, but I hated the other guys because Mark Wahlberg is not a funny man.
See, I thought he was great in that movie.
Mark Wahlberg needs to, in my opinion, he needs to stick with just like the action movies, the occasional sport movie, like Ted, the Ted movies. Those are like okay, but I think those movies are only funny and um, with him being involved because other characters carry the weight. Like a CG teddy bear carries the weight of those films for me. I don't know. And it could, you know what? It could just be that he is just genuinely funny, but I have a hard time viewing him through that lens. So that just may be a skill issue for me. I don't know, but
So I'm gonna level with you guys. I only like Talladega Nights because it's poking at NASCAR. Because I know
that,
Smith hates it,
and that's perfectly fine. Like I
and that's
think
that's not me knocking NASCAR. I just think it's funny.
no,
And
some of
I
the
also
go
a
ahead.
hot take. It's a hot take. I know. I'm not a fan of Elf.
Oh,
I did not know this
oh,
about you, and this hurts me.
see yourself out of this conversation.
I'm gonna pretend like he didn't just say that. I think the ways in which it makes fun of NASCAR are hilarious, like the arrogance that Will Smith's character portrays in a lot of the
Will
stuff, and just
Smith.
like how out, huh?
You said Will Smith, buddy.
Will Ferrell, and
The movie would be better with Will Smith.
I
and
can agree. That would be comparable.
90s Will Smith in comedies was the best.
Oh, yeah.
and just like how over the top he is, and like his interviews and stuff with the media and Talladega Nights, like that's all well and good. That's it's just funny. But the concept is funny, but I don't know. I just did not enjoy the performances or what little that I've gotten to see of them through my trials with it. But I think Step Brothers um, is an incredible incredible comedy movie, and a little bit more of an obscure one of his, Land of the Lost. That that is also a very cherished movie by me. It is so funny. And of course, Elf is good, but I guess we'll have to accept slander in this podcast, though it hurts.
I just have to hard disagree on Step Brothers.
It's
I don't think I
it's
laughed
not
at
even that
one part in that film.
it's not even that I specifically just dislike Elf or don't think it's funny. It's more just that I got so burned out on it.
I mean, that's
I
fair.
saw it a
That can
thousand
happen to
times.
any film, but
I
that's
can watch it again and be
that's a
okay.
yearly watch for me. I enjoyed that film.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool with once a year. It, it, it does what it needs to do for me.
Yeah, it's like
You know,
my
once a year's fine.
The obligatory holiday watch.
yeah that and the original Santa Claus are my must watch for Christmas time. Then followed by either either or the first or second Home Alone, just which both preferably, but as long as I get to watch one of them, that's my cycle for Christmas.
I had never seen any of the Santa Claus movies until like 2 or 3 years ago.
How?
I know. Those of you that know me personally, this will come as no surprise. But yeah, I hadn't. That was another that was another series of movies that Kelsey introduced me to.
That is absurd. The first Santa Claus is my favorite Christmas movie.
It's a great one. I slept on it for too long. It is good.
It's so good.
Another hot take. My favorite Christmas movie is Die Hard. Takes place on Christmas. I don't care what anyone says. It's not Christmas for me until Hans Gruber gets knocked off Nakatomi Plaza.
Didn't Bruce Willis say at his roast that it is not a Christmas movie?
Yeah, well, he's entitled to his opinion, but he's wrong.
You're picking on the mentally handicapped at this point.
I was about
Oh,
to
hey,
say,
I
he's
mean,
not
I feel
saying
like that's the point.
he's not
I feel
saying
like that's the
much of
point in my
anything
defense.
nowadays. Bless his soul.
Yeah, I do genuinely hate that because I think
He is
Bruce
so
Willis is one of the
he is
better '80s action stars. Yeah,
nice. Yeah, such
He
a
said
good
a little
actor.
bit. I saw a quote from him the other day that I'm probably paraphrasing here, but it was something along the lines of
You animal. This is somehow more unacceptable than the elf slander. Now you need to leave.
It's turning into a one-man podcast tonight, boys.
now we're gonna talk about going back to comedies. I feel like we lost a lot of the good stuff after the '80s too.
Oh yeah, there were a lot of great '80s comedies.
There were some great ones.
It was
Ferris Bueller's the obvious pick, but like Better Off Dead was great. Weird Science was fun. Like, there's a lot of them.
Ah, Weird Science. Yeah, that's
Let me think here.
a good one.
Yeah, Weird Science was fun. Like I said,
Airplane was in the '80s. Can't forget that.
Airplane, yeah.
When did Encino Man come out? Was that late 80s? Probably early 90s.
I'd have to look into that. Oh yeah, Little Shop of Horrors. I mean, that's more niche, but
Yep, that was a good one. And let's not forget about the all-time classic, Blazing Saddles.
hey, might be the finest of the '80s. I thought that came out in the late '70s.
It may have.
Wow, that's crazy. So,
Actually, mid '70s, '74.
Oh wow. Okay, I was off. Regardless, it's a classic.
I did not know that that movie was that old.
Oh yeah.
The movie's over 50 years old.
Yeah,
When you say it like
yeah,
that,
it is. That's concerning.
That is concerning.
Ooh, Bill and Ted's came out in the '80s. Another classic.
yep.
Haven't seen them.
Oof.
This does not surprise me.
That's what I'm saying.
Spaceballs came out somewhere in that time frame.
Tried watching it. Didn't think it
Naked
was
Gun.
funny.
Yeah, it's fun. Naked Gun.
So I feel like comedy picked up in the '80s, and I feel like it peaked in the '90s, and then into the
That's
very
fair.
early
That's fair.
2000s. Like I've said, there's just so many examples of potential hilarious comedy movies. Like they have like a good setup, but the execution is poor. It's $1 million start with a 10-cent finish, as I've heard before. And keeping in line with comedy, did you guys see that South Park missed their deadline for only the second time in their history?
I did because they didn't get the episode done allegedly.
I did not see that.
Yeah, I believe the last time they missed their deadline was in 2013, and I remember that was for like a power outage in their studio. But no one knows the real reason that they've missed this one. We just know the official statement. It's quite impressive how they do their episodes, though. If you haven't seen the documentary, I believe it's 6 Days to Air. I think is that the name of it, Potter? You might know that.
I'm not sure what the name of it was, to be honest with you, unfortunately.
Yes, 6 Days to Air. If you've never watched that, you should. Shows how they do their episodes. It's a good look behind the scenes on them.
What if the reason why they missed their deadline is just they're suffering at the hands of an infiltration from Punxsutawney Phil.
The groundhog?
The groundhog.
Yes, the groundhog.
Are you going through some stuff?
He's just
When
got a
is he
great
not?
name, man. He's just got a great name, man. We got to respect him.
That might be the most obscure thing I've ever heard you say, and that is a bold claim. You have completely derailed my thought process because I'm just sitting here thinking, like, why would that happen?
Why would anything happen? Always be skeptical.
Buddy,
You really need to edit
So
in
the
you really need to edit in the Twilight Zone music right there.
you said that, and it's reminded me
hold
that
on,
groundhog didn't exist.
it does. I may edit this portion of the episode out so no one else hits this level of confusion.
That would be fair.
The groundhog?
I have no words for you right now. This does remind me, did you ever see that bizarre NFL commercial back in the day about Punxsutawney Phil?
This seems
No.
vaguely familiar, but I could not recount the details to you.
You gentlemen might remember the Steelers safety Troy Polamalu.
Why, yes, he had wonderful hair.
He sure did.
Well,
Insured by
hopefully he has. Is he still alive?
As far as I know.
All right.
Actually, it was insured by Head and Shoulders for $1 million, I believe. Potter, do you remember
That
him?
sounds right. Yeah, I do. He had some hair.
He sure did.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he was insured by Head and Shoulders for like $1 million.
Yeah, he was definitely insured by them, and I'm quite positive that was the amount. But there was this random NFL commercial where they reached in, like the typical tradition, to pull out old Punxsutawney Phil, but they pull out this miniature version of Troy Polamalu. And he looks.
I do remember this.
He sees his shadow and he's like, ah! And hides. And they're like, Punxsutawney Polamalu has seen his shadow. 6 more weeks of football.
Yeah, I do remember that now. That's a great commercial.
Might have been the best football commercial ever. That was incredible.
Man, we could go down a whole rabbit hole with football commercials.
Oh, we sure could. Especially if we got into
What about a
Super Bowl
groundhog
commercials.
hole?
Now it sounds like we're circling
What about
back around to our potential Manscaped sponsorship.
what about a hobbit hole?
Yeah, folks, we're proud to announce to you this episode proudly brought to you by Hole.
We have it.
You have it.
Take care of it.
We all have a little bit of hole.
Yes, don't forget. You do have a hole. Take care of it. Oh, I'm moving on here. I did see we are close to, I think it's on the 23rd, Kojima Productions Beyond the Strand live stream. You guys seen
I
anything
saw
about
that,
this? I figured you did.
I
Potter.
saw that it was happening, yes.
Yeah, I don't know anything beyond its existence.
Yeah, it looks like
It's
we're
their studio's like anniversary thing, right?
yes, their 10-year anniversary. There's rumors about what they're expected to talk about, including the Kojima sharing some details on his upcoming horror project with Microsoft, OD. They're also thinking he might share some stuff about Fizzent, the PlayStation exclusive game.
which is still a ways out, unfortunately.
Fizzent is his new like tactical espionage game, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Interesting. And is you said OD is in conjunction with Microsoft. Is that only going to be on Xbox?
No one knows, but I keep seeing rumors that it's going to be multi-platform now that they're like throwing out all their other stuff to
He
Sony.
can't he can't do this to me.
I'm sure it'll be out on everything at some point.
I won't miss another Kojima game in my life after what Death Stranding has done to me. I don't care what it is.
It would be seriously hard to fathom Kojima making a game that was not available on the PlayStation. Even if he's working in conjunction with Microsoft, I can't see him making a Microsoft exclusive game.
Yeah, literally all of
Yeah,
his stuff has been on the PlayStation.
Oh yeah, yeah,
he's
everything he's
he's
done.
had stuff come out on the Xbox, but never like exclusively that I'm aware of anyway.
Yeah, I mean there was the early stuff before the PlayStation was around that like the first two actual Metal Gear games were obviously not on the PlayStation because it didn't exist yet.
Nintendo.
Yeah,
I was talking about like Metal Gear, not Solid.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about before Solid, like the Metal Gear games before Solid.
Oh yeah, they were on like the NES, I think.
Oh yeah, I think they were on some obscure system actually. Let me research that.
I know it was a Nintendo system. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Those games are included in the HD collection, which is
They were, yes.
Yes.
it's it's good for the sake of maintaining the history of the franchise. But man, I was whenever I bought the HD collection, I was foolishly under the operating under the assumption that I would play those games just to appease the completionist in me. But after I watched like 3 minutes of gameplay of the first Metal Gear, and I was just like, "There's no shot that I could ever play this game. It's too dated." Not to say that it's a bad game or anything. It's just it definitely shows its age, and rightfully so.
It was released.
I mean,
The original one was released in '87 for the MSX2.
okay. Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree with you as far as like them not really holding up. I mean, not everything can be GoldenEye.
A Actually, the second one was also released on the MSX2.
Wow. Yeah, we have come a long way since then.
I
Oh,
don't even know what that
absolutely.
is.
It was one of those random, like the random Japanese, like here's a system, here's a system, here's a system. Like I think there were even some Panasonic branded systems at one point. But I think those
It,
were
it was actually initially conceived by Microsoft.
hence
So
the MSX.
interesting full circle moment.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Inconceivable.
yeah. There's been a lot of one-off ones. Like I think Dreamcast, like one of the Dreamcast systems, had this weird like method where they would essentially put their system up for bid to different companies, and anyone could bid on it and then produce it and then sell it as their product. So like Panasonic had it, and like maybe Samsung or something like a bunch of companies like that had it, and they all looked different, and they all had like games you could play for them. It was just such a weird method. It was like they had to self-publish the console, and I don't even remember if it was the Dreamcast, but I've seen this whole thing before, and it's super strange.
That is very interesting.
This doesn't even sound real. It's so So weird.
It was like a fever dream. I remember seeing the Panasonic one and thinking, why?
Why?
Yeah, it's a wild thing, but it exists. And then there was like the Mega Drive and the Dreamcast, the Genesis. Like there's been so many systems over the years. At least those are kind of more well known. But there are definitely some obscure ones. Oh, speaking of systems, one other thing I was going to bring up, Nintendo and their series of bonehead moves.
Oh,
Do you know? So everybody is wanting like, hey, bring the GameCube out as like the virtual console, or like put a bunch of games from it on, like give us Zelda Twilight Princess, give us Wind Waker and stuff like that, right? It would make sense. Print money, easy money.
This seems like a good proposition.
seems like the
Right,
solid way
right.
to go, yeah.
Do you know what virtual system they have brought out for the Switch 2?
Oh no.
The Virtual Boy,
Why?
the headache-inducing Virtual
Why?
Excuse me.
Boy. I'm not making this up. I wish I was.
You better be.
Yeah, no, you can look it up. It's
You've ruined
happening.
my entire evening.
I don't understand how dumb you have to be, but they're doing it.
That's another thing that most people don't even know exists. Like, why would you do it?
That's why I brought it up. Obscure console. I remember you could play that thing for like 15 minutes and get a massive headache.
They
That
are
is classic Nintendo.
they
And they're
are
also putting out the peripheral for it, so you can play like the old Virtual Boy.
they are
So yeah,
certainly making decisions at Nintendo.
they are making decisions. They are not good or well informed, but they are
I'm
decisions.
I'm thinking that I need to revisit a certain hypothetical that I
Oh
posed
no.
in earlier episodes regarding domestic terrorism and Ubisoft, but we replaced the company.
I mean,
You might be onto something there.
mm, yeah, that was the bonehead thing. I remember. I just only remember that because we're talking about these obscure systems that once existed, and I don't think anybody liked the Virtual Boy. So, what games are they going to have on it? Because nobody cared.
I mean, even
I mean,
yeah, like
all
you
they
could
had to do was just break out Twilight Princess, maybe put, Metroid Prime 1, 2, 3. Like just do some smart things that make sense. The GameCube had such a library, like old RE4 original version. That would have been a winner. People would still buy that. Like, hey, you could just. They're stupid.
even
Nintendo
if
is
they
stupid.
even if they didn't want to deal with, you know, porting over GameCube stuff for whatever reason, like okay, I can respect that, but there are just better decisions that you can make. I mean, for the first decision in comparison to reviving the Virtual Boy is just doing nothing at all. That would have been better. But you could have done anything with like any of the Game Boy catalogs, and that would have been received way better.
It would have been. It absolutely would have been. Like, I mean, how many freaking Pokemon games are on the Game Boys?
Oh gosh.
So many.
You're going to print money. And I'd say that they already have those out, right? I'm sure that they have to have those out.
I
I
actually
don't
think
see
they
anywhere
do.
they
Yeah,
don't.
I think they do. there were just so many other just, you know, not huge titles like Pokemon. There was a lot of solid games that came out on the Game Boys. That it would have just you could release one solid, decent Game Boy anything game, and it would be better than I suspect the entire Virtual Boy catalog and experience as a whole. Whole.
You would not be
Whole.
wrong.
Whole.
The classic Silent Hill 2 graffiti. There is a hole here. It's gone now. Speaking of Silent Hill 2, before we wrap up, One Among Us has finished it recently, and he had an experience.
The final update amongst the or for the initial playthrough. It's finally here. I've completed it. I finished my first run of it the other night. Man, quite the ride. I think that's definitely one that, especially once I wrap up the platinum trophy and experience all the endings and stuff, I think that would probably be a pretty fun spoiler cast because you can, man, I've only seen one ending and you can. I'm already sensing all the rabbit holes that I can find myself going down.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a lot
For
of good,
sure.
a lot of good theory and discussion to be had from that game for sure. And now that I'm at the end of it, I can just reaffirm what I previously said and say it once more that it is genuinely the scariest game that I've ever played.
Oh,
It is, without a doubt, the scariest game I've ever played.
more than Call of Duty 4.
More than Call of Duty 4. Call of Duty 4, it will come as a surprise to all that that is actually a horror game, despite what you may
100%.
despite what you may recall from your own childhood and marketing propaganda surrounding that game. It is actual nightmare fuel.
Never played a
the stuff
scarier game personally.
the stuff that you can encounter in multiplayer in that game, stuff that can only be conjured by the most twisted, evil, demented, empathy lacking minds dwelling in the pits of hell.
I cannot
That
dispute that at all.
that
Horrifying game.
notwithstanding,
To put it in perspective for you, Ethan. So, for him, Window Man was a thing in Modern Warfare, right?
Oh, it sure was. Literally,
So
literally, my
with
contact ID
Silent
for
Hill,
him is that window.
with Silent Hill, imagine Window Man in perpetuity, forever, everywhere
That's
you
not
look.
good. That is not good.
and so that's
But
that's an that's
the
an
mannequins,
important
man.
distinction. Oh yeah, the mannequins, man. Yeah. The,
Aside from him
we,
going through the haunted forest, Window Man is the worst I've ever seen him scared.
that was
I
maybe
was
the lowest point
uh,
in my life was the Window Man incident.
I was fortunate enough to be in the party through like the last half or so of his Silent Hill run, and boy, he was going through it.
Oh, you lucky, lucky man.
See, an important distinction that needs to be made here is, for as scary as Call of Duty 4 was, there were at least moments to where you felt like that you could rein it in, and you felt like you had gained
Speak
some
for yourself.
agency, and you felt like things were relatively under control. But the my Silent Hill experience, I think just upon initial reflection on it, the thing that I enjoy most about it is just how on edge it keeps you. Like I mean, I'll say it for the third episode in a row, but the sound design is unlike anything that I've experienced in any kind of piece of media that I've consumed. It's just like you you were constantly just like trying to avoid the next terrible thing happening to you, and it can happen at literally any time, and the sound plays such a crucial role in that, and the environments are so well done, and you just like in the back half of the game after whenever things start climaxing, if you will, it's just like, oh man, it's horrible. And there's no like, oftentimes there's not even like a build up to some of the like the ending boss fights that you get into. You are thrust directly into just like a nightmare situation. Like you have a split second to think, huh, I sure hope nothing bad happens here. I would really hate for XYZ thing to happen to me right here. And then lo and behold, you've just passed your math class because you have solved for XYZ and it is happening to you in this moment. It's horrible. But in the best way. It's good. If you have access to a PS5, you're into ruining your life and consuming a good piece of horror media, Silent Hill 2 Remake. It'll do it for you.
It will do it for you.
Well, this sounds like my kind of game to avoid.
It's good. I'm looking forward to experiencing more of the endings. It's gonna be good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I did want to touch on. I saw. I've seen a couple of lists, but it seems like this one has been the most consistent one. As we talked last week about the 30th anniversary of the PlayStation 1. Would either of you like to take a stab at the top-selling PlayStation 1 game of all time?
Wasn't
Please
an
tell me it's
exclusive.
Rugrats Search for Reptar.
Okay. Not a bad answer.
Is
Let's.
it exclusive?
It definitely was at the time. I think it still is to this day, but
Okay. Was it a sequel or does it have sequels?
does have sequels, but the number one game is not the sequel.
Okay.
Hey, he said guess,
Man.
not ask 20 questions.
No, I'm zeroing a little bit, you know? There's just so many on the PS1. Because I don't feel like it was Metal Gear.
It is number 10.
I feel
It
yeah, I
came into
figured
the
it was
top
top
10.
10, but I didn't think it was number 1. I feel like it's not Resident Evil.
It's gonna be something that we wouldn't expect.
Yeah, Resident Evil's too niche.
It was in the top 20 on the one list I was looking at, but I'm just looking at this one that's just the top 10.
I really want it to be Ape Escape, but I know it's not.
Not in the top 10.
Not in the top 10.
That's criminal. Crash Bandicoot?
It's on here. Let me find out where it was. 8th.
I was about to say, must not be number 1.
Get right. Medieval is definitely not the answer.
You're correct on that. I'll give you credit for that.
That's a PlayStation 1 game?
Oh yeah, brother.
Wow. I'm telling you, it's going to be something that we would never expect.
Couldn't be Twisted Metal, right?
You're right. Not that.
Were any of the GTAs on PlayStation 1?
I think the first two might have been on the PlayStation 1, but they're not on the list.
Oh
Okay.
God, well it has to be. If it's not Final Fantasy VII, what could it be?
Well, Final Fantasy VII is number 2. Like I said, it's
my
not a sequel.
Lord.
That would be, I guess, technically a sequel.
Oh right, I forget that.
As much as I want it to be Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah, I don't see it on the
Uh,
top 10.
could it be the Spider-Man game?
No, but I wish it was,
Oh
just
man, that
because
would have
that
been
is
good.
such a
Cyber
fantastic
Filter.
game. I also
Right.
wish it was number one.
Man, I'm just shooting in the dark at this point. I was
Yeah,
thinking of all the games I enjoyed.
the one list I was looking at for Resident Evil was number 18, and Resident Evil 2 was number 11.
That makes sense.
But
Oh
again,
man,
got some conflicting information. The top
I'm gonna go for a deep.
four are the same on this list, but number 5 on this one list is number 8 on the list I'm looking at right now. I think I think
I'm trying to think of like the big exclusives they had back then. Spyro the Dragon.
Spyro was number 12 on the one list, but it's not on the top 10.
Man,
You're naming
oh,
bangers.
I say I'm starting to run out of like ones that I was like growing up with. Uh,
Is it somehow that really obscure Yu-Gi-Oh game?
I know the one you're talking about because I had it, but it is not.
if
It is
only.
not. This is
It's
a game
either
I had though and played quite a bit of.
Duelist of the Roses,
Okay.
or Forbidden Memories, or something like that.
Those were both Yu-Gi-Oh games.
You had it. You played it a lot. Uh,
It's not one I would. I don't think it's one I've ever really talked about. It might shock you to know that I played this game quite a bit.
it's not a fighting game. Like it's not Tekken.
It's not, but Tekken 3 is number 5.
No, that does not surprise me because Tekken 3 is incredible.
That's Frogger.
Oh, I wish. Also had that game.
Please be Frogger.
On the other list I'm looking at, Tekken 3 was number 6, but it's number 5 on this one that I'm looking at.
Tekken 3 is goaded for sure.
Yeah, definitely the
Man,
highest ranking fighting game.
give me a minute. I'm still trying to like. I am absolutely racking my brain.
NFL Game Day.
Oh, another one that I would be happy to see. This
I mean, if that's not it, what could it be?
and this may only further the confusion is the sequel to this game is number 3.
Okay, all right. I think my final guess. I'm gonna go with Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo is the number 1 selling PlayStation game of all time.
I did it. I finally did it.
That is
Yep.
so.
Yep.
That is so unexpected.
I
It,
was going through every like popular series I knew they had back
Gran
then. That was like
Turismo
the
and Final
last
Fantasy
one.
VII both sold over 10 million copies, but Gran Turismo sold quite a few more actually, about 800 million more than Final Fantasy VII, surprisingly.
It stands the test of time, man. I'm playing Gran Turismo 7 on the rig, getting ready for NASCAR 25.
Incredible. And then Gran Turismo 2 sold a little over 9 million copies.
Wow. It's shocking to me because I mean I didn't play those first. I didn't play the first 6 installments, but they're such those games are such technical driving games, and like I don't know, I just it's crazy to me. It's crazy to hear that they were so popular, just because I know, and it's anecdotal because my preference and the way that I liked to experience racing games for a long time was like more of an arcade kind of experience, and not something that aired on the realistic side. But maybe that's another thing that I just slept on for so long. That's just surprising to hear to me that that's the best seller. Whenever you've got stuff like any of the Final Fantasies from that period, and like Crash
Ape
Bandicoot, like
Escape.
we said, and Ape Escape and all that stuff. Like, it's crazy that the sell through was that much higher than
Fun fact about
It
Gran
really is.
Turismo, I think it's the original one that I had. I still have it, but it's in a big jewel case, like one of those like 4 disc jewel cases.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know if it actually had that many discs. But if it's what I'm thinking of, then I think it's still in shrink wrap because I never played it.
Whoa. That could be something.
let me
Yeah,
take
it
a
might have
rip off
been
that jewel, man.
2. It might have been Gran Turismo 2, but I know I had one, like a racing game on the PlayStation that was one of the sim racers. And I know that I never played it, and I'm pretty sure it was still in the shrink wrap.
That is interesting. Yeah, if you have that, you could be sitting on
For
a minor gold mine.
Yeah, for a minute I was thinking it was Twisted Metal 3 that I had in shrink wrap, but I know it's not because I remember playing it.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like it has to be Gran Turismo.
Yeah, just to summarize this, we'll start because there were a couple that was missed or that were missed. Number 10, Metal Gear Solid. Number 9, surprised you didn't throw this one out there, Potter. Tomb Raider.
I thought about it. I did think about it, but I was gonna say Tomb Raider 2.
Yeah, it's interestingly the first one. Then number 8 was Crash Bandicoot Warped.
Great game.
Number 7 was Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back. Number
Yeah, yeah, fair.
6, and this one's kind of surprising because it was right at. It's not because of the fandom, but it was the fact that this game came out at the end of the PlayStation's life cycle. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
I had that actually.
I do too. I have the first two, both on the PlayStation 1. Then, of course, I said earlier, number 5, Tekken 3. Number 4, this one will make you happy, Potter, Final Fantasy 8.
That's right.
Then, as I mentioned earlier, Gran Turismo 2, the sequel to Gran Turismo, was number 3. Then Final Fantasy 7, and as previously stated, Gran Turismo 1 taking the top spot. So that wraps up the top 10 PlayStation 1 selling games of all time.
I do have to say before the episode's over, I take offense to the fact that Spider-Man on the PS1 is not in that top 10.
You and me both.
That's still one of the most fun Spider-Man games.
It was so
And
good.
let's not pretend that Doc Ock with the Carnage symbiote at the end is not terrifying. That's that's the worst. That's nightmare fuel for a kid.
I have done my best to purge that from my memory.
Oh man, that was horrifying.
That was my awakening into, oh, things can be horrifying. Absolutely one of the
Tru-
most unsettling things I've ever encountered in my life.
Truly, that belongs in Silent Hill.
And no, no, it doesn't.
Can you imagine Pyramid Head with the Carnage symbiote?
I don't want to, and you can't make me.
Just a triangular boy.
What about two pyramid heads?
What about shutting up? Man, I've regularly, I've talked about it a few times on here about Pyramid Head actually managing to unsettle me. I overlook the Doc Ock Carnage combination because of how purely just terrifying that is. That was one of the worst things ever concocted. Whoever greenlit that, I wish the worst for them.
Yeah, you are not a good person.
I don't have any sort of metaphors or hyperboles for the things that I wish upon them. That was the epitome of do not do that. No, I'm out.
We hope you suffer your own Punxsutawney Phil inspiration.
And at this rate, I won't be surprised if they have a Puxatawny Phil like horror game or movie come out. We've done Winnie the Pooh. We're doing Pinocchio. Why not?
We are getting the Poohverse, so that's a thing.
Man, I saw the concept art for Jiminy Cricket and that, and I'm just gonna say no.
I saw that too.
The Poohverse.
I believe that's what they're calling
That's right. Which is, hilariously stupid, but like, yeah.
This is what happens when you let your copyrights expire.
Mm-hmm. I don't even think the copyright expired. Didn't they just enter public domain because they're so old?
Yeah, well, I think that's really what it was.
Yeah. It'll happen to everything eventually, unfortunately. When we get things like that.
Yeah, I don't think it's too much longer now before Lord of the Rings enters public domain.
Oh no. Oh
Which is
geez.
Well, it can't
quite
get worse than what Amazon's done to it, so.
quite
I was about
horrible
to
to think
say
about.
that's true. Yeah. It'll never be like, the original trilogy. It just let's just leave it. Let's just leave it.
Yeah, that's a universe I'd like to see explored more, but after seeing
I
how
don't
it's
trust
being
anyone to do it.
explored,
Yeah.
I mean, Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War were fine. They were clearly
They were.
non-canon, but they were great.
Which they were cowards and they changed it in the second one to make it non-canon. Because originally it was supposed to be canon. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that's still one of my favorite game series of all time.
That was
Delightful
great.
experience.
Too
Shadow
bad
of
we won't get another
Mordor,
one.
Shadow of Platinum Trophy.
Yeah, those two were two of the only platinums I have, so that speaks for itself.
Well, you
Well,
boys
boys,
got anything else?
I'm
No, I'm
tapped
not
out.
hearing nothing.
The the fountain of knowledge and ranting runs dry this eve.
well, since we're
Yeah,
at
I
that
got
point,
nothing else.
we appreciate you all being here with us on this episode, whether it be this morning, this afternoon, this evening, or maybe even the middle of the night. Maybe you truly have nothing else to do with your life, and you're listening to us at 2 a.m. If that's the
I'm
case,
sorry.
we can only apologize.
If you're
Honestly,
worse off than us, that says something.
oh yes, honestly, we can only apologize if you're listening to us at any point of day, but we appreciate it regardless. Just don't forget to hit us up on all of our socials at the Friendo Wagon on Instagram, Twitter, for those of us who refuse to acknowledge it as X.
That's right.
Of course, on YouTube, where we primarily upload at for the time being. And even though we never use it, Twitch.
We'll
Twitch.com
stream
slash the
there
Friendo Wagon.
eventually.
Well, one day. One day. I
One
mean, Silent
day.
Hill S coming out.
It may not
It
be
could be the
this day.
one.
It may not be this day. But we appreciate you joining us on the Friendo Wagon. You're always welcome aboard. And have a lovely rest of your consciousness.
But until then, dear listener, just remember that technically bananas are berries, while strawberries are not actually berries. Look it up. It's true. But for now, the Friendo wagon is inbound. Somewhere else.